Greetings, fellow fans. In today's video, I bring a lot of updates, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Here at the Philadelphia Eagles, we continue to refine our analysis for the upcoming 2025 draft, which is just a few days away. At the beginning of the program, we explored the team's top offensive targets, and now I want to shift my focus to preferred defensive candidates, highlighting players who could be excellent additions. Let's start with the edge rusher position, where there is significant interest in an athlete from Marshall University. A player from Tennessee exhibits a similar style of play and physique. Another prospect may not have the same speed or explosion, but his performance in college is certainly notable. One prospect may not be the most athletic, but he stood out in important games, showcasing great performance at critical moments. He resembles one of the team's top pass rushers in history. This player didn't stand out for his explosiveness, but demonstrated an exemplary work ethic, outworking opponents with his strength and showing resilience and productivity. Additionally, the team shows strong interest in a player from Texas A&M. This athlete faced legal challenges and character issues in the past, but if those problems are overcome and he falls to the team, it could be a significant pick. His agility, ability to twist, size, and speed at the edge position allow him to destabilize the pocket and create sack opportunities. He also excels against the run, showing impressive instincts with a significant number of sacks and tackles. For loss, both lead in the nation. Additionally, he recorded a noteworthy amount of pressures. A player from Tennessee was a first-team athlete in his conference for 2 years. Although he's a bit leaner, he has considerable height and appropriate weight, clocking under 4.5 seconds in the 40-yard dash with impressive sack and pressure numbers. Finally, in relation to a player the team showed interest in during the pre-draft process, he has shown to be slightly taller, but his athletic ability is admirable. With great numbers, I believe he fits well as an edge rusher in our scheme. And his production in a competitive conference is certainly worthy of attention. Another player may not impress with his athleticism, but is a fighter who gives it all until the final whistle, accumulating a notable number of pressures, which speaks volumes about his performance on the field. In the conference where he plays, he regularly faces strong offensive linemen. A player from a prestigious university has demonstrated great productivity, being versatile enough to play various positions along the defensive line, presenting remarkable statistics. Other athletes standing out for the edge position include a player from Oregon, a tall athlete from Arkansas who transferred from another institution, a prospect from UCLA, another with great production at Michigan, and an athlete from LSU who should not be overlooked. I believe he could shine under the guidance of a good coach. Let's explore more about him, as many are underestimating his potential. He has significant measurements, is a rusher who reads and reacts well, and fits well into the scheme, showing potential as a pass rusher. His development has been slow, having transferred and performed well in his new team. I believe he could start as a reserve, acting as a rotational player at first, but that's exactly what the team needs for the defensive line. Moving on to the defensive line, we analyze the interior, where we find athletes from prestigious universities, some with exceptional traits and others that impress significantly. The idea of a player joining the team in the first round is something I truly appreciate, and I believe he could be selected at any point in the draft. He is 2 decades old, and I genuinely admire his skills originating from Toledo. There exists an athletic powerhouse along with a prospect that I hold in high esteem from Tennessee. The thought of a particular player being picked by a team in the first round is quite enticing, and I believe he could either be chosen by the Niners at number 11 or potentially drop to this team at 32. Some have voiced concerns regarding his personality and character during the pre-draft conversations, but those issues seem to have been addressed. His experience at Texas A&M did not go as expected, yet he is poised to make an impact at Mississippi in the year 2024. Marking a vital addition for the Rebels under a specific coach. He was once the top overall recruit in high school, demonstrating explosiveness, agility, and intensity at 300 pounds. He excels in run defense and is also effective as a pass rusher, making him a reliable replacement for another player. I appreciate his relentless approach to the game. While his pass rushing technique needs some refinement, these skills can undoubtedly be developed at the NFL level. Other defensive tackles being considered include a player from Texas A&M who played alongside a talented defensive line and another from South Carolina. There is also an undersized defensive tackle noted for his exceptional speed off the line. Another athlete worth mentioning has versatility, being able to play both inside and as a defensive end in a 3-4 scheme. Examining the team's edge depth chart reveals some exciting young talents. They brought in a couple of players through free agency on one-year deals. I anticipate that a particular individual will emphasize selecting an edge rusher early in this draft. As addressing, that position is a significant need for the team. Regarding the interior, it ultimately depends on the front under a certain defensive coordinator. A player who ranked among the highest in pass rushing effectiveness last year is expected to play a substantial role in replacing another. A promising individual showed considerable potential last season, while a standout is acknowledged as one of the most dominant players in football. However, depth pieces are necessary, indicating the team needs additional support at edge and defensive tackle, alongside young talents to nurture. This draft class is particularly strong in both edge and defensive tackle positions, making it reasonable to expect a focus on strengthening the defensive line. In football, having standout athletes is crucial, but depth remains equally vital. There is a need for depth at edge positions on the defensive line and for young prospects who can be developed into reliable contributors. This draft class boasts an abundance of skill at both positions, so it is reasonable to predict that the team will prioritize enhancing the defensive line early on. As we shift focus to the second level of defense, the linebackers present some interesting prospects. There are players from Alabama and UCLA who could potentially surprise as first-round selections, although one may be viewed more as a second-round candidate. Additionally, there are athletes from Oklahoma and Oregon, along with another from Ole Miss. Notably, a linebacker has been projected to the team in several recent mock drafts, including consecutive predictions in the closing rounds. Should he fall to the team at the 32 pick, he could be argued as one of the top 15 or 20 players in this draft. If the team chooses to follow the best player available strategy, they might struggle to overlook him, especially given the uncertainty regarding the return of another player. At 6'2" and weighing 235 pounds, this prospect is only 21 years old and exhibits impressive speed with a 40-yard dash time of 4.52 seconds. He has participated in 35 games, starting 21 during his time at Alabama. His size enables him to cover considerable ground, and while he could serve as a pass rusher capable of bending the corner, his off-ball instincts still need further development. There are plays on tape revealing potential, indicating a solid foundation for him to mature into a proficient off-ball linebacker at the professional level, particularly in conjunction with another player. Moreover, the team has arranged a pre-draft meeting with a linebacker from Penn State as part of their 30 top visits. They prefer players with a relative athletic score of 8 or higher, and this linebacker slightly exceeds that threshold with a score of 8.03. He stands just under 6 foot and weighs around 240 pounds, clocking a 40-yard dash time of 4.67 seconds. While he may lack a bit of speed, his 10-yard split was commendable. Another linebacker from Cal has also drawn interest. Although he sometimes struggles with instincts, his coverage capabilities are noteworthy, and he draws comparisons to a former third-round selection from BYU who has become one of the leading off-ball linebackers in the league. This prospect is an athletic specimen with a relative athletic score of 9.42, standing 6'2" and weighing 233 pounds. His performance in the bench press was impressive, achieving 26 repetitions at 225 pounds, showcasing his strength. He also recorded a 40-inch vertical leap and an impressive broad jump of over 10 feet with a 40-yard dash time of 4.6 seconds. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a surprising turn of events that has sparked conversations across the NFL, defensive end Josh Sweat publicly admitted that he regrets leaving the Philadelphia Eagles. The statement, which came during a recent interview, sheds light on the CAA emotional and professional challenges players often face after switching teams, even when those decisions initially seem like the right move. Sweat, who spent several seasons with the Eagles and developed into a key figure on their defensive line, acknowledged that the departure wasn't as fulfilling as he had anticipated. Known for his explosiveness off the edge and consistent presence in Philadelphia's rotation, he was part of a dominant defense that reached the Super Bowl and was widely respected throughout the league. Leaving that behind, according to Sweat, created a void that he didn't expect to fill so strongly. There are some things you just can't replace, Sweat said. The culture, the fans, the way we played for each other in Philly. It was special. I thought a change would be good for my career, but sometimes you don't realize what you had until it's gone. His comments have resonated with Eagles fans, many of whom never wanted to see him go. Philadelphia has maintained one of the most loyal and passionate fan bases in football, and Sweat's words have only reinforced the bond between the city and his former star. While he didn't go into details about the circumstances surrounding his departure, the emotion in his voice made it clear that his decision weighs heavily on him. For the Eagles organization, this revelation serves as a bittersweet reminder of how impactful Sweat was, not only on the field but in the locker room. With the NFL draft approaching and teams reshaping their rosters, his story stands as a powerful example of how much environment, camaraderie, and identity mean in a league often dominated by contracts and statistics. Whether or not a reunion with the Eagles is possible remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, Josh Sweat's heart never truly left Philadelphia. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.